Got it. Hello. Welcome to episode 2 of Galaxies in Peril. We are down one hero today, but we will manage. Um, so we are starting off in downtime after our little incursion into the dockyards, and we have some stuff to figure out, I think. First off, I want to talk about since we just figured out exactly how powers work. So I want to go over that a little bit. It's a lot easier than we thought it was, hopefully. So we'll start there. Um, so I think one of the things that was confusing in the text was that they talk about mastered abilities and learned abilities. They are the same thing. So the way powers work is your powers, that's just a list of things uh, that make you a superhero. That's your flight, that's your eye beams, that's your healing factor, ability to turn into a giant, whatever. So you can write down as many powers as you want. That's just like stuff that this character can do fictionally. The simple, difficult, and borderline things at the beginning of the game, when you create your character, you pick one specific action that you can do with your powers for each of those categories. And those are the more granular ones we were looking at before, like throw a car, a block, or run the speed of light for a second, or that kind of thing. Those three things are the mastered, the things you have mastered, the learned abilities. And you can perform those without spending resilience. Any other thing you want to do with your powers costs resilience, and we don't write them down until they are learned, and you learn them by rolling a critical when you're using them. So, if let me see if Andesh doesn't have there. I think maybe Remakes does. Yeah.
I've
So
been moving mine around a bit.
cool. So yeah, and see, I think you have your Remix has powers for the abilities. So like your powers are shapeshifting, elasticity, telepathy. Those are your general descriptors of your powers. And then in the simple, difficult, and borderline, we want one thing in each of those that's like uh, change my face into someone I've touched, or stretch my arm through a window or whatever. When you use powers, or when you use abilities with your powers that we haven't written down yet, we just decide on the fly whether it's simple, difficult, or borderline, and then pay the resilience as we go along. The only time we write something down as an ability is when it's learned / mastered. Otherwise, it's all on the fly. Does that make more sense?
So it's always a flashback.
They basically take, yeah, they function as flashbacks, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until we roll a critical, and then
Yeah.
they're free.
Yeah, then they are learned or mastered, and then that's when you write them down. And you start off with one written down thing in each section. So those three things, the simple, difficult, and borderline things, are things that you have already done and have gotten good at and don't have to spend for.
But so since you don't pay resilience for the ones you've learned, it doesn't really matter which category they belong to, if they're simple,
Right.
difficult, or borderline.
Yeah, and that's like according to your your character concept. Like if you're
Yeah.
an Asgardian and you're strong and resilient and stuff, but somehow you maybe like learned a little bit of magic, like knocking down a building might be simple for you. Reading someone's emotions might be borderline.
Yeah, I just mean that you're never writing them down in the, it doesn't matter. You're not writing them down in the categories, because the category doesn't matter when you write them down.
So the category matters when you write them down, because it kind of defines what kinds of things are simple, difficult, or borderline for you.
Oh,
So
okay.
going forward, you're still going to spend resilience for them if you haven't mastered them. But it's like, oh, like I'm not really great at flying, so anything to do with flying might be borderline for me. Whereas someone whose whole thing is flying, that stuff might be simple.
So you do write them down even if you haven't mastered them, because if you've
You
mastered them,
only
you
write them
don't
down
pay,
when you master them. Yeah.
but you don't pay resilience for. Oh, it's just to compare other things you're trying.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the key thing, that like you only write them down on the sheet if you have mastered / learned them.
So kind of like equipment. I guess we could put them in italics if they're mastered.
You only write them down if they're mastered.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like if you have heat vision or whatever, and one of your mastered skill is your mastered ability is melting through a bank vault door. You can still do all sorts of stuff with your I-beams. You're never going to write it down until you roll a critical. Then you've mastered that thing. So another, you might be like, oh, I'm gonna knock that guy out of the air with my I-beams. You're not going to write that down unless you crit with it, and that's like, cool, I can knock the guy out of the air with the I-beams. That means like, oh, I can hit moving targets easily.
What if I never roll a critical? Can I buy a critical?
Not according to the rules, no. Yeah. And so I think that's like, that kind of encourages you to lean into using your powers for things that you'll be rolling a lot of dice for. That's how I'm reading it.
I'm going to master the ability to roll criticals on my power roll. Then... Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Got it.
So if you have not already, now would be a good time to think of one simple thing, one difficult thing, and one borderline thing. And yeah, Anders has some great stuff in there, like accurately throw a cinder block 100 feet, jump down from a 10-story building. Those are things that Savannah does not need to spend for.
Yeah, now I just need to format the thing so that it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that takes out a lot of the like mushiness and weirdness that we are reading into it. Hopefully.
Yeah, because I figured you would always write things down when you tried them so that you could remember.
Yeah. And this way you don't need to remember. You can just do the stuff. It just costs.
Cool.
Okay, so I was thinking that for borderline, reshape my arms into blades. Is that
Nice.
that fits? Okay.
Yeah, awesome.
Just for reference, my borderline thing I picked was punch a speeding truck to a full stop.
Nice.
Because that feels like a super strength, cool sort of thing to like at the outer edge of what I can do.
Yeah, and that's cool because it not only implies that you're super strong, but it also implies that you like have the like, you can like ground yourself and use your momentum against the thing instead of just like lifting something heavy. That's cool. Yeah. And again, we talked about this briefly during our last game this morning, but so you only pay resilience for things that you would roll an action for. So if you're like, I don't need to breathe and my skin is resistant to vacuum and radiation, you don't need to spend resilience if you go into outer space, because that's just a thing you can do. If you're just flying to the store, you don't need to roll if you're a flying person, if you have flying powers. You only need to pay resilience for simple, difficult, borderline things when you're doing an action roll. Which is kind of why I was at the end of I mean, retroactively why at the end of last time, like, oh, you jumped down, like, oh, you're strong and tough, so like, just jumping down off a thing doesn't sound like a thing you would necessarily have to roll for. So, but if you put that down as one of your things, then we know that's like, oh, that's like,
Yeah, I did it now because I wanted something other than just raw strength stuff.
yeah.
So the three that I'm thinking about, well, one that I'm thinking about is like reflexes, because that's what I demonstrated in the first one, right? Like I was able to like push those people out of the way. And so I was thinking that a power for that might be something like, since I've got that picture of a motorcycle here, like my ability to drive through rush hour traffic or something like that with the senses, right? How would y'all word it, and where would you put it, you think?
Like you're able to weave through rush hour traffic as fast as you would drive on an open highway or something.
Okay.
And whether that's simple, difficult, or borderline is up to you, depending on how your conception of the character is.
Do I get one in each category per power, or just one in each category?
Just one in each category.
Okay. So if I have a healing factor and I put this motorcycle thing in my simple, I can't put healing factor in my simple.
Right. And reading the recovery rules, the healing factor stuff is interesting because they're like, oh, because like Wolverine should be able to heal, but you still have to roll to recover harm. And so it's like, oh, you have a healing factor, like Deadpool could grow back an arm, but you wouldn't take off the harm. It would just transform into like missing arm to really fucked up about my arm.
Like, okay. Oh, I see. It allows you to move on in the fiction, but not necessarily affect the die roll. Like
exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of like across the board. Like powers are primarily fictional things that help you do stuff.
Yeah, they help you with the fictional positioning, but they don't replace the die roll.
Yeah, exactly. So like you're super strong, so you could roll to punch through a wall, whereas a normal person, that wouldn't even be a roll. You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Unless it's like flimsy drywall. Or you're really mad.
Do we have any learned to start?
You have one learned in each category to start. Yeah, otherwise that would
well,
be
wait,
really
do we
rough.
have one mastered, I guess?
Yeah, learned and mastered are the same thing.
Okay. But you said each category, so that confused me.
Yeah, so you'll have one in simple, one in difficult, one in borderline. Those are things that you can already do that you don't need to pay for.
Don't need to pay for.
Correct, yeah.
They're just there to give us an idea of what our other powers should be ranking.
Yeah, they're there to just like put stakes in the ground.
So you're saying then that remix, if I put reshape my arms into blaze, it doesn't cost +3 resilience to do it?
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, but so like that would be like, so then later if you're like, oh, I want to, change my finger into a key to unlock this door, that sounds like it's in the same area, so that might be a borderline thing that you would spend resilience on. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So weird.
So these things that we write down now. No, I'm just talking just to make sure I understand it and maybe help someone else understand if I've got it correctly. The powers, those are like the broad categories. That's I put Asgardian physique because that's like seems like the broad overarching category. And then the learned a bit, and that gives us a general sense of these are the kinds of things you can do. So if you have, like, if you're Cyclops, you have eye beams,
right,
or whatever, however you want to describe them. And if you're Jean Grey, then you have telekinesis and telepathy and that sort of thing. Those are the broad categories. And then the learned or mastered abilities, those are the same thing. those are things that we can always do without paying resilience.
Yeah.
So basically, those are the ones we write down now. Those are kind of staple power things. That's
There's staple abilities, and
yeah,
writing them
abilities.
down.
Yeah, I shouldn't use the word powers for
Yeah.
both of these.
Yeah, and writing them down, in addition to sort of setting those stakes on the ground, reminds us that when you do this thing, you don't have to pay. I guess,
Yeah.
which is it's weird that the section is like spend this resilience with this thing when you don't have to spend for it. But that's a UI thing, UX thing.
Yeah, and I get it kind of shows how difficult various things are for you. So you have something to calibrate against when you're doing something different.
Exactly.
So I put, since I have jumped down from a 10-story building as difficult, that means that if I would jump off the much higher building, but not like ridiculously high, then it's probably borderline. And
yeah, or like also like, oh, I got punched off a cliff.
Yeah,
you could still, that would be fine because it's still in the same kind of. It's not the abilities that we write down are evocative of the kind of thing. So like, I can throw a car a block doesn't mean you can't throw a motorcycle a block.
Yeah.
And I like you put down accurately throw a cinder block 100 feet.
Yeah.
Because anyone can throw a cinder block 100 feet. Accuracy, that's the key.
I think I figured out how it works. And I think I like it, but we'll have to see in play. I'm not sure about this learning things on a crit thing because that's so very random.
Arbitrary. Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how it works.
Yeah, and them saying explicitly in the rules, like, think more Smallville than Man of Steel, like you're still getting a hang of your powers.
Yeah. That's a cool thing that will really show growth for the characters, assuming it actually kicks in and you're not just super unlucky and never roll.
Yeah, and I would almost say, like, just because of the nature of randomness, like if y'all wanted to do like a long-term project, like a 14 hit clock to like, I'm going to train to cast this kind of spell or whatever, then like, I think that would be totally worth.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing about that is like with clocks, you can buy a critical.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what I'm asking. Like, can I just buy a critical elsewhere?
And can you? I don't.
No, not for action rolls.
You can bump up levels in downtime actions.
Yeah.
So if you use your power in a downtime action, or used an ability in a downtime action and bumped it up, maybe.
I don't think you usually. Oh, there could be something. Because many of the downtime activities don't use action rolls.
Right.
There's
yeah.
This reminds me of not the American, but the Japanese Final Fantasy II, where losing hit points increased your constitution.
Your limit break or the
no. Like your ability to have more hit points. And so you'd find a small enemy and then start fighting each other. So that by the end of it, you had better hit points. It's like, oh, we need to hack this computer. Let me cut myself up before I start so I can be regenerating what I do it. Anyway, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just thought we'd solved this particular game idea back in the early 2010s. All right, so what I've chosen is for simple is race downtown on cycle as fast as an empty road under simple. Under difficult, I've got create a small unstable portal to limbo. And under borderline, I've got regrow a body part over time.
Nice.
Okay.
For remakes, I have simple, look like anyone they've met, mimicry, voice, and movement.
Yeah.
Difficult, stretch my body 2 times its length.
Nice.
Is that okay? And then borderline, reshape my arms, or I guess, yeah, arms into weapons, or should I go blades? Should I be more specific? I don't know.
More specific is good. Yeah. Because I think transforming your arm into a blade versus transforming it into a gun are very different things.
Oh yeah, totally. Wasn't thinking gun. Although
Yeah.
Marvel does have a guy who did that. Random.
Yeah.
Was his name.
Yeah. And like you can still do that. It's just going to be difficult.
It's crazy. Love it.
No, it's not going to be difficult. It's going to be borderline.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thank you for walking us through that.
Yeah. It was study time. And I don't know if I said on stream here yet. The heat stuff. So heat is generated during a mission, say the rules, and then I spend heat to create and fill out countdown clocks to create complications. It doesn't really detail how to create heat, except for maybe on a fail or a devil's bargain or something. But one of the reference sheets also says to generate heat after a mission, depending on how difficult. Where is it?
It sounded like it was roughly like the blades.
Yeah.
thing.
So here we are. So if how did the mission go? If it's smooth and quiet, no heat. Contained standard exposure, +2 heat. Loud and chaotic, +4 heat. Wild massive exposure, 6 heat. If it's a high profile job, it's +1 heat. If you did any killing, it's +10 heat. And if you acted like ambassadors for humanity, +1 for minor, +2 for bad optics, and +3 for inexcusably bad. So we can tack on heat during the mission as a consequence, and then I'll also use that as a guideline for post-mission heat generation, and I'll generate countdown clocks with those. And it says just like pick things that might be a result of the mission and create clocks for them, whether you spend heat on them or not. So I made a tab called TikTok at the end over here, and right now I created a Fallout clock as the result of the last mission, which we got 2 heat for. It's a 4 o'clock, and I gave a name to the place that you infiltrated, Big T Imports. Yeah, our faction, they're tier 2 stronghold, and you have a status -1 for them. And the Fallout clock is BT is looking for their intruders. And there are 2 ticks in there.
Do you have anything for the ice cream gangs that I pissed off?
Not yet, but we can definitely add those to. Let's add those to the factions right now. Did the ice cream gangs have a name, or are they just the ice cream gangs?
I think they're the 2 Scoops gang.
2 Scoops, love it.
Because there are multiple ice cream gangs.
Yeah. I'm gonna make them tier 1 strong, and I'll put a -1 if you pissed them off. And it says, and I'm not sure. I'll put them on here somewhere. It said like at least keep track of the 3 major factions, which are the city, law enforcement, and the media. And I think that's just like an overall faction with relationship, but we can still have damage control and daily bugle and whatnot as more specific versions of those. Cool. And we have the NY Police Department on there already. Awesome. I think that takes care of most of the paperwork for the last mission. So yeah, let's go into downtime. So just to sort of refresh, do we have downtime clocks for everyone set up? Looks like it. Awesome. So at the beginning of our downtime, everyone took a tick on each clock. Those downtime clocks can be cashed in for recovering resilience, if you would like. And when they are filled or cashed in, then that triggers some fictional fun stuff. So let's look at our rules over here. So downtime activities are starting or advancing a long-term project, recovering harm, recovering resilience, rehabilitating your image with a faction, acquiring assets, and training. And we have 2 each. Oh, one of the other things I learned in my study was this. Where is it? Downtown. Let's see, neighborhood, was it?
You can, it says here that you can actually gain learned abilities with XP. So there is another way than just rolling crits.
I read it saying that. I can't find anywhere where they said how to do that.
It's on the rules tab in the downtime activities thing. On the train, the third line.
Oh, write in a learnability. Cool. I don't think that's in the book. Awesome. It's probably, there are some things in the reference sheets that are not referenced in the books. So that's cool. Awesome. So 3 XP for a simple ability, 4 for a difficult, 5 for a borderline. Perfect. That makes a lot of sense. Let's see. The other thing was, so we established our neighborhood is the warehouse district, or the meatpacking district. When you prepare to execute a mission in your neighborhood, take +1 die to gather information and a free downtime activity to contribute to the mission. So that's nice. So yeah, so let's start off with your 2 default downtime activities. We'll talk about our mission, and if we want to use an extra downtime ability to prepare for that mission in the neighborhood, we can do that.
Oh, well, one of my 2 downtimes was focused around the PC who is here, so I won't do that one. Which leaves me with the downtime of why were you exiled or cast out? And
Those are, you don't need to spend activities on them, right?
you just
But
take
if
it?
you wanted to cash them in for
Yeah, those are just cashing in when
resilience.
you're restoring resilience.
I see. So I just tick one of them or both of them? I already ticked both of them.
Yeah, so they're automatically get ticked at the beginning of each downtime. You only spend them when you, if you want, when you're taking the restoring resilience action.
I see. And unlike Kai, I didn't burn through resilience like it's going out
Yeah,
of style.
Those basically take the place of vices.
Right. Then if I'm cool with just taking the tick. Do I go with the normal downtime actions, or do I have no downtime actions and we just move on?
You always have 2 downtime actions. So you can, those are the regular set of downtime actions. The downtime clocks are only for the recover resilience action. So you don't need to incorporate those unless you choose to use them to restore resilience.
Got it. Mm. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, otherwise downtime is the same as blades.
I think I will train.
Cool.
Although train is weird. Do I not get anything? It says spend 1 XP for +1 max resilience. No.
So
Advanced
training,
attribute. Okay.
training is the same as Blades
Okay.
in that you
okay.
can mark off a tick in any XP track, or you can spend to increase resilience.
That's what I thought, but then I started to
or-
read it and it read differently to my
Yeah.
eyes. But
Yeah, I just found the training section in the book. It does say in the last paragraph that you can spend XP for gaining abilities. So it is in the book in one place.
and then
I'm going to train for playbook XP once. And then since I have Jennifer Walters as my positive connection, I think I'd like to rehabilitate Image with like her law firm or something.
Yeah.
Would they be a
Um,
faction?
Yeah, of course. What's the name of the law firm that she works for in the MCU?
I have no idea.
I'll look that up.
I'll Google it. I Google it
Je-
up. Check
Jessica
with someone
Jones?
else.
Or Jessica Jones or Jennifer Walters?
Jennifer
Sorry.
Walters. I don't
Okay.
know. Maybe I said that, but I'm
GLK&H is the law firm.
I think that's it. Yeah.
I'll throw that in. Factions for
Awesome.
institution, I guess.
sounds fair.
Sure.
I mean, the categories don't really matter, but
Yeah.
institution sounds right.
They're probably tier 3 strong, I would say.
Cool. So
So you're
I
gonna
made-
roll 1 die, I think. So say what your character does to improve the status of the team and make an action roll. So how
it's
how
an
are
action.
you?
Okay.
Yeah. How would you like to
Um,
rehabilitate your image?
Yeah. I need to figure that out. So
Cool.
or actually I have survey. I think I'm just doing like stakeout for them to check up on someone who's a bit shady. They're not sure about one
Oh.
of the clients.
So they're hiring you for
Yeah.
a recon mission.
Yeah, but I'm doing it like I'm giving her the friendly rate. So
Yeah.
so I'm rolling survey, which I have 1 die in.
So who are you surveying? Who are they asking you to spy on?
Ooh, um, I think this is someone who, because they do like super power people.
Yeah.
I think this is someone who they have some kind of powers, and they've been implicated in causing some kind of trouble. I think they have like a luck power or unluck, like causing misfortune to others.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got it. Yeah.
So they're being sued by someone, and they're trying to prove that no, actually my powers don't work that way. So yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna create a villain for them. They're gonna be they're called the Lucky Penny, and they get hired by casinos as coolers. So if someone's having a hot night at the casino, they just like go hang out with them and break their streak. And they are being sued by the casino because the casino suspects them of working with a friend to, instead of cool off their winning streak, to help them win.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm gonna actually put this casino in Jersey.
The worst casino. Yeah. So I'm just rolling my die here then. That's a 3. I don't think that gets me.
I think that still gets you no
rehabilitate.
change. A roll result of 1 gets you no change. 2 to 5 gets you a +1.
Yeah.
So
Too
+1 with
bad.
the law firm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's inconclusive. I couldn't really get anything. I think maybe they made me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So were you staking them out at the casino?
No, I think I was hanging out outside.
Mm.
Um, I was supposed to like follow them when they left, and maybe it's actually their misfortune powers caused me to get a flat tire or something,
Yes.
and yeah.
Cool. I love that. The casino's name is the Emerald in Newark.
Sorry?
The casino's name is the Emerald. It's in Newark, and you got a flat tire. Great.
Ondish, what does your character look like when they're not in superhero clothes?
I don't think she really wears a superhero outfit. She's like she likes like athletic clothing. She's yeah.
And she doesn't have like an alias, like she is just who she is, right?
Yeah. I mean, she's called Giant Slayer, but that's like more a nickname than an identity.
Cool.
Does she have any bad habits? Does she smoke or
I
curse,
think
or-
she drinks a fair bit.
Well, for an Asgardian, that's not a bad habit.
Yeah. But I think I think she drinks a fair bit, even for an Asgardian.
Oh,
I
okay.
imagine she's old enough that she was on the ship from Asgard to like when Thanos attacked and there was a whole thing there.
Yeah.
So she has some bad memories from that she's she's trying to
drown out.
suppress via
So
self-medication.
I'm seeing you in the Heroes 3 like just one night at a tavern just drinking, and it's you versus the bigger one, and it's like a drink to the yeah, and to see who can drink each other under the table and stuff like that.
yeah, he'd always win.
Well, I mean, he's dead now, so you know.
Yeah, so you just kind of win by default now.
Womp, womp.
Cool. So that's one downtime action. +1 with. Okay, great.
Yeah, so I didn't get the faction thing, but I did train my playbook. So I'm slowly working.
Now it says that you can get another die from help.
Oh yeah.
Would you have asked for help?
Like
I would have come with you if you'd asked.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have your bike. I'd be on the car. You'd be on your bike. We could like trade off.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to help you, but if you want to retcon a die roll.
Yeah.
GM,
so you're spending resilience for that, right? You spend a die of resilience or a
yeah. I think you have to spend resilience to.
Yeah.
Assist.
Weird. You have to spend resilience for me to come help.
No,
you
have to spend resilience to help.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be dead really quickly. So. All right.
You'll just get trauma so you can get more XP.
Trauma. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. Let's roll that second die then. Yeah.
I will roll a second die, which is a 5.
There we go. That's a 5.
Nice. So I get a flat tire, but you're there. You can follow him on the bike.
Well, we trade off. I give you the bike.
Oh
yeah.
Cool.
And then I take care of your flat tire.
Awesome. A 5 still gets you a +1, so still good. Wolf gives ride.
So what did you find out? Like, what information did you get for them?
I think I spotted him meeting up with this person that they suspected he was working with. So they have some, like I take a couple of pictures and they have, so now they have some sort of evidence that they can continue working.
Awesome.
Nice.
I love it.
I'm betting you use a Canon camera, but it's got CANNON. You know, I don't know. Or is it nowadays people just use their phones? I mean, gosh, those things are as good as, you know.
Probably. Like phone cameras nowadays are good enough that there's not much reason to have
Do you return my bike with gas in it, or?
Ooh, good question.
Because I'm imagining it spends a little bit more gas getting your rump downtown than it takes to get my rump downtown.
Probably. I don't think so. I just don't think about it. It's not like
That's cool.
Yeah. I think I return it.
Well, magical goats and flying ships don't need gas, so why would you
Yeah,
think to?
yeah. I think I like wipe it down, like clean it off, but I don't think about like,
Yeah.
Awesome. I think I'm gonna make Pug your contact at the law firm, and he
From
he's
Alpha
not-
Flight.
Augustus.
Oh, that's
Pug,
Pug.
No,
right?
not that's Pug,
Sorry.
and it's
Yeah.
Pug from
Yeah.
the
Got it.
She-Hulk show, who was really cool.
Yeah.
I need to watch that. Okay, got it.
Terrible
He's
person.
professional. He may be a little bit overly friendly, but he's not like flirting or anything. He's just impressed by you as a figure.
Thanks. Well, I need to get rid of this injury of mine where I was knocked silly.
Yeah.
So how do I spend the activity to do that?
Cool.
I imagine I head back to my flat or something like that, and then pull the close. God, COVID brain. I make sure the room is dark, and then I try to get some sleep.
Okay, cool. Yeah. You are just rolling a die. You only have one. Oh yeah, you have to do the healing clock thing, right?
Healing clock. Okay.
You have the four tick healing clock. Is that there? Yeah. Healing clock up top. Cool.
It says you roll 1d6 to heal unaided, plus 1 die if story support, powers, first aid, kit, health, etc.
Oh,
And you have your healing factor. So that's...
I do have my thing. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'll bring up the die roller and roll 2d6.
I think it's still. If you have powers, yeah, you have powers. So that's two dice. Yep.
Q. Okay. I got a 5.
So that gets you 2 segments on the healing clock.
Okay. And then
you probably want to recover resilience.
Yeah. Well, that gets me, and I'm only allowed to do that once per downtime, is what you're saying.
I think you can do it as many times as you want. So if you want to do another healing action, you can totally.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay. But yes, I do have a lot of resilience too. Where is the healing clock so I can tick?
It is right up top under your
Oh, there it is. Now I see. Very cool. All right.
Sorry for backseating here.
No, it's good.
Totally,
Like I think we all need to help out.
Yeah.
I'll let someone else do it a downtime, and then I'll think about my other stuff.
Rich, do you have any downtime actions you'd like to do?
I think rehabilitate an image with a faction might be a way to go.
Yeah, that's fun.
And then every time I was looking at the faction, someone would mention a character, and I'd go grab it and then throw it in NPCs and didn't look actually at the things that I wanted.
Yeah, and if there's a faction you want to do, like the law firm, like that's not on there, we'll just throw it on there.
I know, it's so cool.
Yeah, I think that's how I'd like to kind of add factions to this going forward, so that it's more involved with what we're doing instead of just a bunch of stuff I threw on there.
Yeah, I think that's
because there's so much cool stuff to interact with.
Yeah,
I don't want
the
to
only
limit
one
you
I
all.
think is defenders. If they're like a group at this time, if they're not, then we don't need to.
I'm going to put them under the fringe. How about that?
Oh yes, because I was like, they're not underworld, they're not institution.
Yeah, and 3 weeks sounds perfect for me. Yeah. And I think one of you has do we have Jessica Jones as a contact? Yeah. So I'm gonna give you all +1 with them starters.
Yeah, she's a contact of the explorers, like our team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not an individual.
So you're in good with them.
And we already have 3 of them in our New York notables. Nice.
Yeah, I'm Daredevil isn't happy with me, so that's maybe a minus, but you know.
Oh yeah.
I think I would like to increase our rep with Idea Hive.
Ooh.
So Idea Hive is a purely comic thing, but should transition to MCU relatively easy. It's a in the She-Hulk comic, it was introduced. We'll have to kind of switch some things around because it came out at the time when Jennifer Walters was running her own. But I like her being GLKNH. So, but Patsy Walker has a temp agency for heroes there.
Nice.
I think that would be interesting for Reminx to offer some part-time employment at the Caffeine Hazard for whatever recovering supervillains or henchmen or other folks who have powers who want a regular ass job via Patsy Walker's temp agency.
Also, just like a placement for wayward
Yep,
heroes.
that's exactly what it is. It's like the coolest idea. I love it.
Cool. Tell me what it looks like when you're doing that.
Now I think I'll just borrow from an NPC that's already out here. I think I threw Porcupine. Roger Gawking needs to raise a little bit of extra money, so he asks to work in the kitchen.
Nice.
Because he continues to wear his giant suit.
Yeah.
This is She-Hulk related
the...
stuff, Kai.
Yeah,
sorry.
No, it's okay. I need to catch up. I got to watch Ms. Marvel.
Row
and She-Hulk.
51 has some. I've some
Got
picks
it.
for folks.
Awesome.
Which none of them are. I mean, Trish Walker and Porcupine are MCU canon, but we can switch stuff around. I just
had
fun with it. So yeah, Porcupine is working at Caffeine Hazard now.
Awesome. What do you feel like would be a role for you for that?
Sway? Or Ming? Is there a code?
Mingle? Command?
Sorry.
Up to you.
Mingle. Mingle as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're bossing him around, then it could
That's
be-
true.
You could wrestle him.
Yeah, maybe Patsy asks Remix, hey, maybe you get him to get out of the suit. That'd be really healthy for him. And probably get him other opportunities. Because you've seen the spikes on the suit, right? Oh, yes, they look very painful. So I will try to mingle with Porcupine and convince him to let his hair down, as it were. Oh my gosh!
Oh, crit! Nice.
Wow!
So you get a power
Cool.
now?
Critical mingle.
No. Wasted my crit. Fuck.
Caffeine.
No, that's cool.
Caffeine.
Now you can write down your powers. Get people to come out of their suits.
Cool. So
wait, not like that. Sorry.
Exactly like that.
that gives y'all +3 with Idea Hive.
Holy
now.
cats and kittens.
Yeah. That's pretty great. So yeah, tell me a little bit about that scene. What does that look like?
So, by the way, if you look on the Caffeine Hazard tab, I found a layout. The layout doesn't exactly pour into the front facing picture, but
Yeah.
you know, TV logic is
Seinfeld
fine.
rules. Yeah.
So I've got a 2D and a 3D look. It was cute. I like them a lot. And there's a kitchen. It's a unisex bathroom in case you take a
Yeah.
look. It's a unisex bathroom, which amuses me. Kitchen, and then a storage area. And then there's an actual private, I don't know what we'll call it, but maybe it's where we meet. But it's a kind of shoji screened off
Oh yeah.
room to the bottom there. But I think he's
VIP
working.
lounge.
Yeah, nice. He's in the kitchen, and Remix avoids some of the blades and uses their shape-shifting abilities to like hand plates and other things to Porcupine. But it over time, she says, you know, I'm able to avoid the blades, but maybe if you're having fun doing this, it might be easier for other people to work with you. Maybe if at least you could knock off the quills from your suit, or maybe just slip off the suit so that you can keep the suit in fighting condition.
Could I? I've been thinking about this, and could I ask you a favor?
Of course.
Can you look like me in the suit?
Remix closes their eyes and then takes on a lot of volume, girth, and then these quills poing, poing, pop out, and they kind of arms outstretched show Porcupine how bizarre they look.
I just want to see from the outside what it looks like when I take it off.
Ah, Remix understands, and you know, imagine a zipper, because who knows? There's one there, and like steps out of it, trying to use approximations for things that Remix hasn't really seen.
Yeah.
To approximate Porcupine sans suit.
Yeah.
Not so bad, right?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna give it a try. I've been watching the way that you act around people and the way that I mean, not talking about your abilities or anything, but the way you're able to sort of adapt to make people feel comfortable. And you've really made me feel comfortable here. So yeah, I think I can give it a try for you.
Great.
And yeah, I think he has like Velcro rip-off patches for the bigger parts. Like
Like a Chippendales or something.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like really like a little bit nervous and awkward for a bit, and then he kind of just like looks at you and takes a breath and relaxes.
Yeah, there's applause. Nero's very excited.
Yeah.
I can imagine
ready
extra
to-
arms growing out of you applauding,
Yeah.
right?
Yay. Yeah, I think he's ready to go out front and show people what he looks like.
Awesome. That is wonderful.
Nice. Yeah, and when Patsy hears about this tremendous breakthrough, she is extremely pleased. Sends the coffee shop a gift basket, all sorts of goodies.
Oh,
yeah.
so to have like a signed Patsy Walker photo, because Nero would
Yeah, of
totally
course.
put that up.
And a little autobiography.
Totally put it up in like a little frame thing in the restaurant. You know, first famous person that's come to Caffeine Hazard.
Nice. Awesome. Got him out of the suit. Cool. I love that. Svava, do you have a second action you might want to take?
I've done both of my.
Oh, have you?
For one.
Oh, you trained. What did you train in?
Playbook.
Okay, cool. Is there anything that you were doing as a part of that training, or?
I'm not sure what ability I'm going to go for, but I think this is I think it's just physical training.
Cool.
I think I do some like parkour stuff, but it's like superhero parkour. So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Cool. Just being an Asgardian.
Yeah.
Cool. Devil Wolf, did you have a second action in mind?
I'd like to reduce my resilience total.
Fair.
So it says I can roll a d6.
Yeah, so you can start by rolling a d6. You can also recover more resilience by cashing in one or both of your one-tick clocks.
As a story-oriented person, I'd like those to build a little bit first.
Yeah. And I think we can now or in the future we can decide to burn those after we see what the roll is. So it's not a
yeah, that's the way I understood it. You roll first and then you can decide to cash in.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, seeing as they're both at 1, I don't think I cannot get at least a 1 on the roll. So anyway, so I roll a d6.
So what are you doing to recover your resilience?
If this is too silly, let me know, and I will completely take it off the table. But you know those web things where it's like Gordon Ramsay master classes,
Yeah.
right? Does like Doctor Strange or somebody have like a master class or something?
Doctor Strange absolutely has a master class. Or no,
right?
No, Wong has a master class.
Sure, right. And I figure I'm at the section on like meditating and stuff like that. Like,
awesome.
A master class on how to bring balance into your life. And so I guess I just got my laptop up and in my dark room, and I'm just like watching the class. And the point I want to try to make is that like she knows she's connected to this magic stuff, but she really doesn't want to be connected to this magic stuff. So it's just always harder for her to interact with it so much.
Cool.
Okay, so I will roll 1 die 6. Why did I lose connection? Am I on VP? Oh, okay. I got a 6.
Hey, there we go. So recover 3.
Sweet.
Resilience. I gave out a little bit of resources for the mission, 2 resources. If you want to spend one, you can bump that up to 5.
Ooh. I'm trying to imagine what that looks like in the game, in the fiction.
Maybe so. If you're spending resources, maybe that is, you finish the masterclass.
And I pay for it.
Yeah, you pay for it. You actually got a lot out of it, and maybe you actually reach out to Wong.
That would be so cool.
Spend some resources to take him out to coffee or something and tell him what happened.
Well, not caffeine hazard, but like a nice
no, like a real coffee shop. And he gives you some pointers.
Yes, but I'd like to role play that.
Absolutely.
I just want to see what that character looks like on screen.
Yeah. Where do you take him?
Well, I guess look at the map here. There is a map on the NPCs. No, it's in the
In
factions.
the factions, yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you just want to like describe what the place is like, we can figure out where it is.
What is Josie's Bar?
What is Josie's Bar?
That's Hell's Kitchen.
Isn't that where just
What if we walk? What if we walk some garden at Empire State University, which is near the Sanctum Sanctorum?
Nice, yeah, I love that.
And actually, I don't necessarily have to role play at this point, but I tell him, like, I let him in. I'm like, I'm the guardian of this prison. I'm sure you already know.
Does the prison have like a name that is known by?
Ooh, I'm betting if I come up with it, it'll have already been used in Marvel. But let me see
That's fine.
here. I'm not going to call it a Twinkie.
The Shadow Star.
I guess like, yeah, like I guess like the Void, or I guess this is really defining this. This should be pretty important, actually. The door.
The door.
I'll call it the door. Are y'all cool with that?
Sure.
Cool. Yeah. So he I think he accepts the invitation because as the man in town, he knows you, he knows of you, he knows
Right.
about the door, and he knows that you are the guardian of it, and
The custodian.
the custodian. Yes, the custodian of the door. And yeah, I mean, he does not express that he is impressed because nothing has happened yet.
Sure.
But he asks you how this responsibility feels for you.
She says something like, I don't want to be I don't want to make people like or something like that. It's uncomfortable or something like that. It's like it weighs down on me. I didn't ask for it. I'm not going to abandon it, but I'd much rather someone else have it, to be honest.
As GM to you, how did you come into possession of it? How did you take up responsibility for it?
So the story was that there was this ritual going on, and I was
right, and
then the snap happened, and I was the only one left. So it became attached to me.
Yeah.
When the door appeared. So.
Yeah, and he says, I understand that this responsibility was placed upon you. It was not taken willingly by you. But sometimes the universe, it knows the right place to put things of importance. I never expected to become Sorcerer Supreme here. It was more or less dropped on me. And it is a great burden. It's an incredible responsibility, but I've found ways to live with it. I'm sure you will too. I have great faith in your abilities.
You do?
Of course. You wouldn't have been given this responsibility if you weren't worthy of it.
I guess with great responsibility comes great anxiety. How did, when you became who you are, how did you deal with it?
Honestly, there was too much going on for me to even think about it. And I think you are at a disadvantage here. Not that there's not anything going on for you, but I was too distracted by everything else going around to even think about how it weighed on me. It seems like you have a lot of opportunity to reflect on your position. So instead of taking that as an unfortunate circumstance, I think you can use this as an opportunity to reflect on yourself and why you were chosen.
And I think they walk for a while, and she accepts that. What season is it? Is it spring or fall?
Let's
or-
say it's early spring. It's still chilly out.
Okay, so maybe like there's some blossoms and stuff like that.
Yeah, crocus is coming up through the ice or the frost.
And she says, after a while, she goes, "Oh, I had this question I meant to ask you. Do you know how many Lokis there are?"
Oh, he just kind of shakes his head. There,
Because one came and visited us, and I thought there was only one. So
we only had one Loki before Thanos took that problem away from us. There are multiple Lokis. Fewer than there were until recently, but not an infinite number, but an uncountable number.
Oh.
You said one of them has spoken to you?
Yeah, she
Here?
she came to the coffee shop, the one where my friends and I, well, where the door is really. And she let us know that we're a bunch of fuck ups, and that we better do things right or we're gonna die. So, anxiety.
Do you believe her?
It seemed too real. The details were uncanny. I think I do, at least in terms of like what she needs to get out of us.
Loki's, as you know, are masters of illusion, and they can not only show you things that aren't there, but they can lie to you by showing things that are there as well. I would be careful that you're not just playing into one of her schemes. If you see her again, let me know.
Oh, okay. I'll text you.
Yeah, you have my number now.
Cool.
Join our Discord.
I will do that. Okay.
Cool.
There's a Discord. Cool. That makes her very happy. Like that's a little bit more closer to her age range on these things. And I mean, that's all I needed out of the scene. So thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Rich, do you have one more action? Okay. What was
I also trained.
You also trained. What did you train in?
I trained in prowess.
Awesome.
I think Nero watched. Wasn't it Svava who was doing the crazy parkour stuff? Watched Svava doing it, but didn't want to embarrass Svava by asking for training. So then remakes like watched it a whole lot and then tried to mimic it for a bit.
Did you do it as yourself, or did you try to copy her as closely as possible?
I think Nero shifted into Svava
Nice.
and like stumbled, and at one point like fell over, tried to jump from one building to another, and like slammed to the side of the building and landed on somebody's fire escape, breaking a few pots and plants and stuff, and then like tried to put them together until some lights came on, and then they scrambled up the side.
Cool. Sweet. Let's take 10 and we'll come back and talk about. Cool. Let's find a mission for you all. So the way they have missions set out, we kind of come up with it together. I have a couple ideas for some things, but I want to kind of go through their process and see how this works here. So for expeditions, we want to choose a part of the world to flesh out, and this is where I kind of get caught up, because there's a lot of cool things we could do, but we're also tier 0, so it should be like neighborhood scale, which feels more difficult. So, but I'm sure we can work it out. So what part of the world / the neighborhood would you like to flesh out some more?
I mean, one thing that I'm just going to say warlocks.
Yeah.
And you can say yes or no to that, but
Just so you're talking about the mutant Morlocks?
Yeah.
Oh, Morlocks. I heard
Yeah, okay.
Warlocks, and I was like,
No,
is that a
sorry.
bar or?
Awesome. I just put the Morlocks into our Swords of the Serpentine game, so I am
cool.
super into that.
Wow.
I mean, not the literal ones, but in spirit. Yeah, there's a little Caliban, and it's great.
Oh,
Love him. So you want to explore Morlocks, sewers, mutants, all that stuff.
Yeah, I figure it's a kind of a neighborhood thing that's still going into unknown territory, and
Cool. And since there are no mutants in the MCU yet, we have free reign.
what if someone that we think should be put through the door has like taken control of the Morlocks, or is trying to kill them, or is like in some way like involved with this? I don't know. We can hold off, or maybe we should hold off until Steven's back. But just a thought.
Yeah, we can definitely explore that area and make that a thing that comes up as a result of this. If it works out, it'd be fun. Let's see. Does a Morlock belong in the door? Where are my notes? Here they are. Door lock. Cool. Morlocks is one thing you might want to explore. What else?
We could always explore the Two Scoops gang and
Sure.
deal with them.
Cool. Morlocks, finding someone to put through the door. Two Scoops gang, love all that. What's the inciting incident, problem, or mystery? One of the things that I was thinking of was, I think this meshes up with the Morlocks thing. Basically, someone saying there's something down there, or I lost something down there, or we're trying to find someone down there, and investigating that, or trying to find out who they are.
Maybe somebody from Idea Hive.
Oh yeah, love that.
Since we've already made them so happy.
Yeah, let's see if we can make them unhappy. That is not an MCU guy, but I can make him an MCU guy. Great. Is there? Oh, let me look something up here. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're gonna bring him to New York. Awesome. So, who was the contact? Was it Remix
Patsy.
was the contact with Patsy?
I'm sorry, can you ask the question again?
Was Remix the one that was liaising?
Yeah,
with
Remix was
Idea
the
Hive?
one who built things up, but it could totally be someone else.
Cool. So just to finish stepping through these steps, what story elements would be fun? What would like to see? Locations, NPCs, factions, moods, all sorts of things on there. Anything else we'd like to see in the mission? Or any?
I guess I'd like to avoid the Mutant Massacre storyline at this point.
Okay, I'm not really familiar with that as much. So
Just-
we
It's
can do
where
that.
they fridged an entire race of people, kind
Oh
of.
yeah, let's not do that.
I mean, they had to introduce Sabretooth somehow, I guess. But
I thought it was the Reavers that.
oh yeah, but wasn't Sabretooth one? Anyway, I'm shut up.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah, that was during.
What
when
was
we
that
were-
phrase for "we've gone too deep"? What was the thing?
In the
and
weeds.
The
Yeah.
weeds.
Any kind of like tones or themes you'd want to hit?
I always think of the Morlocks as being super scrappy and creative, but also a little alien. So those
Yeah.
are a couple. I don't know if you call those tones, but there's a couple of aspects about them that I think is fascinating.
Yeah, that totally works.
Oh, there's one more lock that if he touches you, he can like rearrange like how your face looks and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
MASQUE. Oh my gosh.
So him versus you, Rich.
Ah,
Like I don't know, like it'd be nice to have him be like, I've done the thing, and you're like, okay, or not. I don't know, maybe it would affect your powers or something. That would be a interesting
Thing.
connection.
Cool.
Oh,
And-
maybe somebody did come back from the snap in my ritual or whatever, and maybe they're down here or something like that. It doesn't have to be like that, but like if there's
Ooh.
a twist or we need somebody to be in trouble or something like that. Somebody
remind
from,
me what the group was. Was it like a cult that you were in, or?
I don't know. It can be whatever at this
Cool.
point. Yeah. I mean the New Mutants, I guess, but like I don't think that would be like required.
Cool. I will make a note of that though. That's really great. Let me see where this guy is coming from. Rich, did you mention something about the hive earlier? Or was that
Idea Hive?
No, the demon hive thing.
Oh no, I don't think.
Hellfast. Kind of also tied to magic. Great. I'm gonna make a note of him then for later. What
Scary. Wait.
you
Oh,
do
I see
get
scary.
is God, how did he get his powers?
However you said he did.
Voodoo priestess. Okay. Great. Okay, this guy's great. So I think the way it happens is Patsy gets in touch with Naro again and sort of makes some chit chat about Porcupine, saying how much he's come out of his shell, asking how he's doing there and all that. And says, I was wondering, you've done so much already. I don't, asking you for another favor.
What is
one
it?
of our people went missing in your neighborhood. He was he was working at construction, and I had another episode. His name is, what's his name? His name is Gavin Grant. He's from out of town, and he was picked up for turning into a alligator man. And of course, he's been through the program. He's been doing much better, and I'm just afraid that something happened to him. I hope that he hasn't gone back to his. I don't think he has. He's much better now, but I'm just worried that something happened to him.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you could ask around, check the sewers, I guess. Just see if you can drum anything up. I still have people on it. We're gonna try and track him down, but if you hear anything, he was last seen in your neighborhood, so just let me know. Keep an eye out.
Sure. Happy to help. I'm sure that the rest of the crew will go down into the sewers to help find an
Alright.
alligator man.
Yeah, just be careful. There's
Is this a prank, Betsy? It's okay. I'll still laugh.
no, this is definitely not a prank.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yeah, so the mission is the set goal is to find find Gavin Grant, also known as Gator.
Jeez.
So
Lots of
That's
G's.
amazing.
Lots of
Gators in the
Gs.
sewers is the best.
I looked up King Croc, and he is not in the MCU. But I
Very
found this
true.
guy instead. Cool. So, what type of plan would you like to try to follow here?
If it helps in the Spider Gwen storyline, like Shield or somebody had gotten the chemical recipe to turn someone into the lizard,
Mm.
and they were like housing their lizards in the sewer.
Nice. Yeah, this guy is not chemically altered.
Cool.
Possibly problematic, but we'll work around that.
Got it.
Cool. So, plan types: assault, deception, stealth, occult, social, transport. Thoughts?
I guess we could do some research first.
Yeah. Since it's going to be in the neighborhood, you can also take a downtime action for free to supplement the mission. You can also do gathering information or whatever else you like.
Oh, because it's in our neighborhood, we get a bonus. That's neat.
Yeah.
Maybe like blueprints over the sewers or something.
Yeah.
It would be an asset, right?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's grab an asset. There's too many windows open. Getting an asset for downtime. Let's do that. Would you like to be the one that does that?
I'm not sure I'm the best at it. I would do like mingle probably, and I think there are others who are better at that.
I am a reporter in training. That might be something better for me.
Or actually, let's see, mingle, socialize, make friends.
Nope, not better for me either.
You can also pick a different
Well, study. I guess
attribute
study
and-
would work. Like, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah.
Study is scrutinize details and gather information from books and databases. That sounds great. You have one tick in study.
Yeah. I imagine like the panel is just simply like a word bubble that says, what the hell's a microfiche? And then just a
Yeah,
door,
exactly.
a door slamming behind her.
Awesome. You want to do some study for a map there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Would anyone like to help with that role?
Yeah, I'll help.
Cool.
So it looks like 2 dice. Do you want to take a devil's bargain for this or push?
Hey, don't push, please.
Yeah.
Right?
I have an idea for a devil's bargain.
Mhm.
So I think there are more than just the Morlocks down there.
Oh yeah.
And when someone finds out that I'm looking around in that area, that maybe it gets their attention.
Okay, something.
Yeah. Sort of clack. Who rolled 5D? Oh, you did. Okay.
That was me for mission generation.
Got it. I was like,
Tables
dang.
there are less helpful for street level stuff, I think, but give me some ideas.
So I guess that would be 3d6 then?
Yeah, unless anyone else has an idea for devil's bargain.
I mean, I suggested their own, so they're going to take it. So
No, I'll take another one. I'll take another one.
No, I'm just joking. I didn't have an idea. I know what it.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That's fine. You can make fun of me.
We could also say that you're attracting the attention of someone who's looking out for like things that you're doing out of the ordinary, and we could
sure.
use that to generate a heat.
Yeah. Let's go with the heat. That's easier to
Okay, cool.
to do.
Someone's flagged that database then. +1 heat.
I got a 4.
A 4. So that will get you a tier 0 asset for you. That's good. That get you a thing. Cool. So you've got maps of the sewers. They are older, but the openings all match up. So I'm pretty sure you got the right ones.
Nice.
Cool. What other kinds of things do we want to do to prepare for this? Actions or investigations?
Does anybody want to go to the construction site and talk to the people there? Or... I'm not good at.
Do we have any contact who might?
Say that again.
I was thinking if we have any contacts who could provide information.
I was seeing a panel of you just helping them build the building or whatever. Contacts. Well, we got Patsy, we got Jessica.
You got Jack, Jennifer.
I mean, I'm not friendly with Daredevil, but I know him. So, or at least, we have a...
He would
have a relationship, yeah.
If he defended him, he might know some stuff about him that he can't tell you because of lawyer, but you don't necessarily know about lawyer-client privilege, so...
But maybe there's someone else who's more appropriate. Jessica Jones could know about people going missing and that sort of thing.
Ooh.
Other people going missing, yeah.
Yeah. Like if this isn't the only person to go missing, then she might know something.
Yeah. What would that? You want to do an investigation roll or a not an investigation roll?
Gather
Perception.
information.
Gather information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. What would that be with Mingle? You think?
Mingle, I think.
Okay. Cool. Where? How do you get in touch with her? Where do you meet up?
Um, I think I show up at the bar where she likes to hang out.
Yeah.
Have a couple of drinks, too many probably, and yeah, talk a bit.
Cool. Are you asking about like missing people or like missing supers?
I think I start out by asking about people going missing in this area, and then like we heard there might be something about the sewers, and so yeah.
Cool. So right now I have 1 die for Mingle.
Yeah,
Would you like to try and get more dice somehow?
I'll hear a devil's bargain. I mean, or I could just take.
You'll owe her a favor no matter what.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking level 1 harm hangover or something.
I'm a
love
big
that.
fan of. I'm a big fan of that. You want to take that as a devil's bargain?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, good.
Love it.
So I'm rolling 2 dice. That's terrible. My highest is a 2.
Whew, that hangover did get
Yeah,
you.
she said something, but I don't remember.
It's written on this cocktail napkin. I just can't figure it out. Yeah. What's the name of the bar you met up at? I forget the.
I think it's Josie's bar that she
Josie's
likes
bar?
to hang out at, but I'm not sure. I'll Google it.
Yeah, we could say it's Josie's bar. That's fine. Yeah, I think you have some scribbles on a napkin. Doesn't make a lot of sense to you. And when you turn over the napkin, this part is clearly written in someone else's hand. You left without paying your tab, and so that might be an issue down the road.
Josie's bar is where Matt and Foggy and Karen hang out.
Okay. Yeah, it's conceivable you could hang out there. Lawyer bar. Cool. Hangover and big tab. Night out with the girls. Lara, anything you want to look into?
I don't know. Where do we have a need? Went to the construction site. Where else?
No one
Suggestions?
went to the construction site, did they?
Oh, sorry.
No.
Well, I'll just go there.
Okay, cool. I made a name for it. Yeah, this is the name of the company is Karma Construction.
With a K or C?
With a K. What do you what does it look like when you approach them?
And remix, of course, like flashback to say, I just want to find out information about Alligator Man, Gavin Grant, right?
Yeah.
Right, Svava? That's what you need? We need?
Yeah, just if you talked about something that could help us.
Okay. Yeah. So Narrow will be using Narrow's human appearance and
Cool.
just stroll down to the construction site. That's fine.
Yeah, that should be fine. Yeah, you're able to easily, foreman is right there. He kind of like gives you a little look up and down and says, what can I do for you?
Hi. I run the coffee
You're gonna
shop.
have to wear this hard hat while you're here.
Oh, thank you. Very considerate. I work at I run the coffee shop just down the street.
Mhm. Yeah, some of the
I
guys go
came
over
here
there.
with some coupons. You guys
Oh,
get free
thank
first
you.
coffee.
Running a promotion? Great.
Well, just
Thanks.
you guys might be new to the neighborhood, working construction, and I thought it might be an opportunity for you to get to know caffeine hazard.
Well, thanks a lot. Yeah, some of the guys go by there every once in a while. It's pretty good. Out here is pretty good. I'll swing by. Thanks a lot.
How's the construction going? Like, what's the timetable? How long do you guys think you'll be working here? Is it months? Is it a year-long project? I
We're
don't.
more or less on schedule, just a little bit, a little behind, but things are always a little bit behind. We'll be here for, at least another year and a half, I'm sure. They've just got like the foundation is set, and it's kind of like at the point where, it's not like a big hole, but there's still places that haven't been built into yet, and there's some of the girders going up.
You're a foreman?
Yep, that's my job.
Rick? Oh, Nero. She offers a hand.
Nero, where are you from?
Nero cycles through all the things. I'm local.
Oh, local girl.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, thanks for stopping by. It's great.
Have you? There was a customer of mine who mentioned coming by the work. I don't think he worked here. Gavin? Do you have a Gavin on your crew?
I think this is where we want to roll.
Nero's desperately thinking, how do I make this productive for me?
Yeah. This sounds like a mingle. What do you think?
Oh, I'm definitely mingling it up. Sounds great to
Yeah.
me.
Cool. Help push devil bargain.
Oh, give me a devil's anyone devil's bargains out there.
Because you're distracting him, like someone gets hurt.
Ooh, that's great.
I
I
was
can't think of a better one than that.
that maybe someone on the building crew is shady and will let other people know that you were there, asking questions, like helping map out where we are and what we do.
Ooh, does that result in some heat?
I think that results in heat. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah.
Because Nero would feel incredibly guilty for causing this guy to fail at his job, I'm going to choose the devil's bargain of heat and someone is watching the watchers. I like that. I like them both, but yeah, I don't want Nero to feel bad trying to get info, and they would
Double devil's bargain.
Right. That's what you get for asking questions.
Cool. So that sounds like 3 dice.
Yeah, 3 dice. Although, well, is there a greater effect that I could have here?
You can push for greater effect if you want.
But narratively, what would that do?
You would get more concrete information.
Okay, sure. I'll push for greater effect with that devil's bargain.
Cool.
All right. And the name of my role is a reference to a Terminator movie, so makes me laugh.
Awesome. That is a 6 with improved effect. That is great. A sort of flash of like I think his first mental response is like, are you a cop, a reporter? What's going on? And then like he just sees the blank innocence on your face. Says asks why you're asking first.
Well, like I said, he was a customer, and then he stopped coming by. He was kind of a regular. I guess I was just a little
Yeah, I mean, you know
worried.
about his past, right? He had some troubles, but he was a good guy. He was a good worker.
I didn't know he had trouble.
I like to help out. Uh, I work with an agency. They send me guys who just need a little bit of help, And yeah, Gavin seemed like a really solid guy. He's from down south somewhere. Super friendly. And yeah, one day he just stopped showing up. Called
Oh.
around. Called around and I mean nothing. I mean I can tell you where he was staying, if that helps out.
If you don't think that's spooky or weird, yes, that sounds great and helpful.
No, I mean it's been more than a week and no one's seen him. If there's anything you can do to help, I'd really appreciate it. He's a strong guy. He used to be a wrestler. Do you know that?
No,
Like a
a
professional
wrestler?
wrestler. Yeah.
Well, that's all fake.
I mean, you'd think, but the stories he told, yeah, I mean, there's got to be something real to it.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, and he writes down an address nearby. Not too far away, not out of the neighborhood. Yeah, it's just like a not great apartment somewhere. I was like, yeah, let me anything I can do to help, let me know. And
Oh.
just I just hope he's okay. Let him know, like, no harm, no foul. If he went on a bender for a week or something,
Mhm.
we're not going to hold it against him. He's welcome back anytime.
Oh, I will let him know if I see him, and then Darrow will just like step up and hug the guy.
Oh, thank
Cause,
you. Yeah, great.
okay,
Great.
thank
You
you.
work at the coffee shop?
It's mine.
Oh, it's your
Mostly.
shop. Awesome.
Mhm.
Oh, maybe I'll come around and see you sometime.
Great. That would be wonderful. Don't forget the coupons. And
Oh
then
no, we won't forget.
she
Don't
kind of,
forget Rick.
yep. Rick.
Naro, was it?
Uh-huh.
Awesome. Great. Well, we'll see you around.
And then she'll hip sway, walk away.
uh,
I mean, if the Mother of Dragons was flirting with me, I'd probably say the same things that he
Right.
did.
Yeah.
I would lose my mind.
Cool. So you have an address of his apartment.
I would call Devil Wolf. Hey, I got an address. It was very easy.
Okay. Yeah, what you got?
An address where Gavin Grant was staying. He's a wrestler, or was a wrestler, but then he started working construction. It turns out I went exactly to where he was working, but he's not working because he's missing.
Right. So when I say what you got, I mean, like, what's the address?
Oh, that's very direct. And she gives the address.
Yeah.
So they just gave you where you lived, huh? Well, I guess we already knew, right? Like he was living in Idea Hive. Yeah. Like that's why they asked us to go and find him.
I don't think he was living in Idea Hive. Also, that's not the address I gave you. I think he was working for Idea Hive, which is a temp agency. Patsy runs a temp agency, and his temp position was as construction, which is where I went. It was very lucky and fortunate.
Gotcha.
I
I misunderstood.
Do you want some help?
Sure.
We'll go together.
Okay, I'll meet you there.
Is Fava in on this too?
Yes. At this point, Nero is realizing, oh, we're not very good at this. So the more the merrier.
I mean, if you're going to hit all of us with the explosion, we have to all be there. So
Yeah, it's true.
I plan on running and jumping so that I'll be clear and completely unharmed.
Yeah, you can easily get to his apartment. It's again a rundown apartment on the way west side, like 37th Street. It's some uh, warehouse that was like, it looks like it was converted to be nice once and then got sold off and subdivided, and now it's like a bunch of studio apartments or efficiencies. No, there's like no kitchen. Most of them don't have bathrooms. They just have like a communal bathroom in the hall. And it's not great taken care of, but it's not awful. You don't see any rats anywhere. And yeah, there's a place to buzz in downstairs, but you can just walk in. It's not really operational. Yeah, and you can get to his apartment. It's locked, but it's probably not a problem to get into one way or the other.
Rain, I would imagine you're good at breaking and entering. Am I wrong?
Do tell.
I just think that you are very skilled at breaking and entering. Would you like to break and enter here?
Why don't we let the Giant Slayer take down the...
Well, but this Svafa will break everything.
Okay.
This is
Also,
true.
I think Svava's a little drunk. Are you a little drunk?
Not anymore. I'm just hungover.
I wish you'd said something. I would have brought you some water. You're dehydrated.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. Let's just get this over with.
I get out some a lockpick, I guess, and
Yeah.
I'll use Tinker to unlock
Yeah,
the door.
you don't even have to roll for that. That's
Oh, okay.
It's a crappy lock. You can pick it with a coat hanger.
You're very
awesome.
skilled at breaking and entering.
Cool. I'd like to do a little paint the scene here. I think it's a small efficiency apartment. There's a bed and like a hot plate. What each of you, what do you see here that tells you that he hasn't been here in a while, at least a week?
The smell of the leftover food that hadn't been put away.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. What does the food look like?
Just Chinese food boxes, with growth.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that. She will pick those up and put them, like, go into the kitchen to find some kind of bag or something to put all that in to carry out.
What else?
Hondish? Anything?
Bunch of mail inside the door.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. I like that.
Yeah, we probably could have told all of this before we even unlocked the door and just open up the little thing. I do want to add that, like, I imagined that he wasn't so happy with the way his past turned out, so he has like a box of memorabilia that he doesn't really want anymore, like really nice posters of his character and like, trophies and some glossies that he would use to sign for people and stuff like that. And
yeah, the poster says like Gator on it, and he's dressed like his costume is like he's from the bayou. He's got the like suspenders and kind of like hillbilly Jim costume.
Oh Lord.
There's a t-shirt from the circuit they did, like with all the stops they would go to or something like that.
Nice.
Like the Hell's Portal series. And so it like lists all the places they went to.
Nice. Rich, what else do you see?
Well, kind of just like all I was thinking was poster, and you got that. So let's see other things. I'm old, and I was thinking of like blinking answering
pet?
machine, but what?
A pet that needs to be taken care of?
Oh,
Not dead, just like
okay. Yeah,
comes
yeah.
up to
He could have an old style answering machine too. That's very
That's
powerful
true.
in this neighborhood.
I like the pet. Like we come in and there's this Purina bag that the dog has like ripped open and food is spilled out. The dog took care of itself, and yeah.
I think maybe the window is open and the dog has escaped.
No,
Shit.
Mark.
Yeah, so what happens when you leave a dog alone for a week? It's thumbs.
Okay.
Powerful
Well,
in the
as
dark.
long as we the players know that dog is okay.
Oh yeah, that dog is okay. Maybe next mission we'll find him. Yeah, it is. It is run down, but it is not. It's not filthy. Like aside from the food that was left out, um, it's not neat, but it's not disgusting. And I think even the food was on a it had the cartons next to it, and it was actually on a plate. And there's on the counter next to it, there's a pair of broken chopsticks, and then some other silverware left out, and it looks like he was in the middle of eating it when it was left. Yeah, and I think with the the dog kibble trailing out the window, the window was open when he left. I think maybe not an answering machine, but I think there's also a television that is on a station and it's still playing.
Nice. Can the
So it looks
1-800 Cars for Kids commercial come on?
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like he either left in a hurry or someone bigger than him took him. But it looks like he was in the middle of living there when he had to leave for whatever reason. The door was still locked. You didn't see any signs of forced entry.
I'd like to add something, but if it doesn't work with what you've got going, Mark, let me know.
Oh, this is all I've got going. So.
Oh, okay. So in the box, there's also a recent picture, but it's of him and like a Morlock kid, and it's our introduction to what a Morlock might look like or something like that.
Ooh. Can it be one of the like Leech?
It's Leech. Yeah.
I love Leech. Yeah. Okay. Leech.
Yeah.
He's the one with like the big eyes.
Yeah, the one who looks super alien and weird.
Yeah.
Checking in. Are you with us, Undesh? Okay, you know who the character is. Okay, cool.
Well, he's seen the card in Marvel Snap.
Yeah, only from Snap, but that's fine. I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Do any of you recognize Leech or know of the Morlocks? Or is this a new lead for you to follow?
New for me, I would think.
Okay.
I agree. I think Kai being the mutant maybe should have first say if that's a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, I think you're the only one who would logically know him, I think.
I see. No, I don't know him, but maybe something in the picture reminds me of some place that, like maybe there's spray paint on the wall that I recognize or something like that.
Yeah, it's you're like Gen Z-ish, probably.
Okay.
A little bit older. I'm asking you.
I don't know where the generations start.
Yeah.
I think she's 20 in this series. So
You're probably you live online a little bit now and then, and maybe you recognize it from like an urban exploration like site
Oh,
or
right,
something,
right,
you know?
right. Yeah,
Um,
I was mapping the
yeah.
neighborhood because I was going to be a good reporter.
Yeah. And yeah, it's an abandoned, or a not abandoned, a out of commission subway station. You recognize it.
Oh, okay.
It's got some. What does the
Oh, it's where the rave kids
graffiti
go.
look like? Yeah.
Yeah, it's intended to be like, glow in the dark or weird or whatever, impressionistic, but uh, you know, um, maybe someone's actually making a reference to H.G. Wells and it says Morlocks on it or something
Nice.
like that. And but yeah, I tapped the photo. I'm like, guys, I know where this is.
Nice.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah.
cool.
Did you have? Go ahead.
Yeah, narrator said, "Oh, cool."
Awesome. Let me pull up the New York City subway map. um,
And
this is
for future reference, Rain will go and grab the smell of the dog so that she can maybe track the dog down later.
nice. This doesn't exist, but I'm going to say it's a disused station on the blue line, south of 34th Street, so like between 23rd and 34th Street. And that's like in your neighborhood.
Maybe it's got like the art that like Miles Morales did in Into the Spider-Verse.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Okay, yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Cool.
Maybe we meet Miles.
Maybe.
Okay.
Awesome. That feels like enough to go on. Y'all feel good to go for a so let's pick our approach.
Let's see. Assault, deception, stealth, social transport. Does that say cult? I need to bring this bigger.
Yeah, that's a cult.
Gotcha.
Yeah, on one of the I think on one of the reference sheets it says cult instead of a cult. I was like, wait, is that supposed to be? No. Okay. Yeah.
So we're not doing assault. It could be social if we're like trying to talk to the Morlocks or other people who live there. It could be stealth.
I'm not great at it, but I like social.
Yeah. Could be occult if we're like using your tracking ability or something like that. So I imagine that would be difficult in the sewers probably.
Oh. Yeah. Well, it might get us the start, right? And then that would tell the die roll would tell us if we were in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we'll introduce some smelling powers, enhanced senses. This is what I guess we'll go with.
Cool.
I
So
just assumed you had something like that. I didn't check your.
I currently don't. I only took 2. I took the reflexes and the magic stuff. Well, some magic stuff, but
I figured since you mentioned about the dog.
Oh, yeah. You're right. And I also have
that's still a power that you can use. It would just be cost resilience.
Yeah, so I guess that would be difficult.
Yeah, we'll wait until after the engagement.
Okay.
How that goes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah,
does that all sound good to you, Rich? Everyone else in agreement?
Yes, I said so earlier on mute.
Oh, sorry,
but I'll say it out loud so you can hear me.
Cool.
I'm good with it.
Awesome. So that's our approach. The detail is using the dog's scent to follow.
Well, to use Gavin's scent as well.
Gavin's scent, yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. That sounds great. Let's do an engagement roll. Start with 1 die. Is the plan simple and bold or complex? Or neither?
Doesn't feel complex, at least.
Doesn't to me now.
Yeah, it just sounds straightforward there. Does it take advantage of a vulnerability? definitely isn't fortified.
I mean, if someone were trying to hide Gavin, like his smell would probably be not something they were gonna probably think about taking care of.
That's true. Yeah, I'll definitely give you that one. I don't think you have any inside man in the sewers, but there's also not a really high chance of interference.
Well, I think we would have interference, right? Like I don't think the Morlocks want people just coming into their territory
Yeah, but I don't think anyone is actively interfering with you.
actively. Got it.
Yeah. I think they are tier 1, so that would be -1 die there. So I think it's just going to be 1 die for engagement.
Sweet.
Rain, do you want to roll that one?
I am.
I'll put the Morlocks on the factions. They're strong tier 1.
A 4.
A 4. Great. So that puts you in a risky position when you start. What's the first obstacle you run into?
There are people there already?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think it's hard to tell whether it's kids partying or some hoods making trouble. But definitely, yeah, someone is there when you get to the station.
Caliban in a hoodie, like a bouncer kind of guy.
Just make a note of that. Engagement roll. Risky at the station.
And then wait for Steven?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We've got you in there. I think this is a good place to take a break, and then we can get Steven in. We can have him Batman swoop in. Does that sound cool to you all?
Yeah, sounds great.
Awesome. Anything else you want to do before we do stars and wishes, I guess?
And XP.
XP, yes. XP. Let's do XP right now. Let's do Explorers XP first. Definitely discovered something new about the world. You haven't contended with challenges above your current station yet. Do you feel like you've bolstered your team's reputation?
Yeah, literally.
Strange. Yeah, totally. Literally.
Well, also
yes.
with Patsy, right? Like
yeah, that's where I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Strange as in Doctor Strange, hanging out with Wong. But yeah, definitely point for that.
2 points for that, I think.
Yeah, I'll take 2. Did you express the goals, drives, conflict, or nature of your team?
You know, just being told that I'm a burglar at heart is how I expect to interact with my teammates.
Yeah, and I think like with this helping out other other people and the thing with the porcupine, I think that's kind of it's showing our vibe, like
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely. Cool. So is that 4? It sounds like, and that gets you an advance. And let's talk about that with Steven next time. Great. Let's go in character keeper order then. Svava. Did you address a challenge with compassion, or did you inspire someone?
Oh, I don't think I inspired any. Well, I kind of inspired Remix with my with the
For sure.
parkour thing.
Yeah.
But compassion, I don't think not in a challenge. I don't think.
Okay, taking 1 for that then. Did you bring in your downtime clock's origin or profession? And that is alien, bodyguard, who's desperate for my help, and what training do I need? What do you think?
What training do I need with the also the parkour, like the keeping my body in
Cool.
good shape? I think that's related to that.
Cool. And you don't have any trauma, so that sounds like
Nope.
2 XP.
Yep.
Awesome. No Nighthawk, Devil Wolf. Let's see, what do we have for you? Did you address the challenge with creativity or solve a problem by thinking outside of the box?
Well, I mean, it wasn't really solving a problem, but reaching out to Wong wasn't necessarily like first on her list of ways to handle things in terms of, it was creative, I think.
Cool. You want to
So
take a point for that?
Yeah, I'll take a point for that.
Cool. Did you bring in your experiment reporter? Who holds you accountable, or who do I butt heads with?
Well, my origin came up with Wong, and my
Yeah.
profession of being like a kid who wanted to be a reporter came up for the picture. So.
Oh yeah. I think you also butting heads with. I think you were butting heads with Naro at some point there. I remember when it was happening. I was like, "Oh, you're gonna get a point for that."
Oh, okay.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, I remember that.
So that's
Cool.
3.
Yeah, no trauma. That's 3. And remakes. Remakes. Did you address a challenge with insight or add an interesting perspective to a scene?
I think yes. At least the scene with Rick, the construction worker.
Yeah. Cool. You want to take one for that?
Yeah.
Great. Did you get any alien small business owner? Why were you exiled or cast out? Or who do you wish was your friend?
I think small business owner was a big part of a few scenes, so point for that.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Wouldn't think there was anything else.
Cool. Sounds like 2 points then.
Okay. Boy, this game's stingy.
Cool. So I think that is everything for play. Let's jump into Stars and Wishes then. Let's go with we'll go this way around. Andish.
Me first. Yeah, this was fun. I like the scene with Porcupine and the and with the construction foreman, like getting a feel for Reming's, how her not quite complete grasp of human interaction was that was fun. And yeah, I like all the details about the apartment. Was fun. Yeah, I shouldn't take all the stars. Wishes, a proper throwdown. Like, want to get into a fight. Yeah, that's about it.
Awesome. Kai.
Well, stars to you for figuring out how powers work. And I really love Rich's scene with the foreman. Really playing the outsider very well. I love that. And thank you, Adish, for letting me tell you how to run your downtime scene by having me come help you. And just thanks to all of you for letting me keep on throwing things in that I see in my head that aren't necessarily the in the game.
Love it.
Yeah, I same as Andish. I want to see what like we do well in a fight with each other, or are we any good at it? I don't know. I definitely want to see what happens with that.
Cool.
And I want to make sure Steven gets some spotlight since he wasn't able to play this session.
Definitely will get him some there. Cool. Thank you. And Rich.
I'll just second the thank you for explaining how powers and heat work. Really appreciate that. especially like that heat is a thing that we can add in as consequences. And I feel like it's almost like it doesn't obviate the real time consequences happening now. It's almost a yes and, like we could do heat, like this thing happening, of course that means heat happens, so that we're not avoiding consequences in the moment.
Oh yeah.
That's cool. I also enjoyed a number of the devil's bargains that folks threw up. That is when I first engaged Trophy Dark, and it's at least the way it was run for me, it was expected that everyone come up with a devil's bargain, and the game is play to lose.
Mm-hmm.
It was very uncomfortable for me, like not fun. It kind of turned me off of Trophy Dark in its entirety, because it felt like how everyone felt like they were trying to top each other with the word. Like, why am I even rolling dice? Why did I ever try to engage the system? I want to do OSR and try to skirt around all mechanics to avoid the entire table telling me how bad off my character's going to. Like, I hate it. But with the theme and the mode of Galaxies and Peril, and also playing with y'all who I trust and adore, it's really fun to see different a little bit like cooks in the kitchen of like, oh, it could be this and this. So it's very fun, and it's a complete 180 from my first experience of everyone does a devil's bargain. Like, I hate this. I don't want any of these. Can I just not do the thing? Sorry for revisiting my Trophy Dark trauma.
You're good.
You want to get experience for your trauma. I see.
Right. That's how you do. I really liked the revelation that Svava has a drinking problem, and I'm really curious how that's going to affect things. It's very noir tragic, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I want more scenes with Rain. So wishes are more scenes with Rain. I want to explore their relationship. Like, how do they relate? Because Nara just made this like offhand, pretty rude comment about how she perceives Rain, and I want to see more, see if that shapes involved, that kind of stuff. So more Svava being, I guess, a little bit of a disaster outside of fights. And other wishes, I definitely want my downtime. I want a downtime scene with Nighthawk. Yeah, to pay off my current clock there.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else?
Nope, that's good.
Sweet. Yeah, I had a great time with this one. Going through the rules, like paragraph by paragraph, and picking everything apart. Took time, but it was extremely useful for picking out the differences from other Blades in the Dark games I've played. Yeah, need some editing. But yeah, I had a great time in the session. It felt very sort of natural and flowy. The way all the details kind of built on each other, all the interesting things we pulled out of everyone. Not pulled out of everyone, just like things that everyone just kind of dropped in. It was really fun. Really enjoyed the porcupine scene. Really enjoyed the Wong scene. I love that shit. It's so good. Yeah, and it felt really organic. I'm warming up to the mission kind of structure that they have here. The sort of collaborative figuring out, especially with the explorers, I think, like figuring out what kinds of things we want to look at and then building into that. It's super nice. I like it a lot. Yeah, it's just y'all are great to play with, so I've really enjoyed it. Which is definitely want to see a fight. I was thinking about that today. I was like, I'm probably not going to get a fight this week, but getting a fight next week. Looking forward to seeing. I want to see Nighthawk kind of integrating into, now that we've figured out all the powers and clocks and all the stuff. Kind of get him a little bit nailed down there. and then get the band together and fuck some shit up. Cool. That's all I've got, I think. Anything else from anyone else?
Yep.
Awesome.
I'll bring the recording to a close. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
running
Internet.
it, Mark.
Bye-bye.